So the more buffer time you guys have based on your planning and timing, the better. The best students will be on top of all of this, okay? So put yourself in that category. Whether you think you're there or not now, why don't you just do what all the best students do and time your essays early, cut them down, and practice different questions and adapt in. And and if you memorize your essays, you memorize those core essays, you're also putting yourself up with the top achievers. Because let's be honest, everyone who's at the top, essentially, there's always exceptions, but everyone at the top basically knows what they're going to write, and they're really good at adapting it to the question so that they are answering the question all the way through. Okay, so the best students will memorize their essay one way or another. And what they'll also do is they won't rewrite those essays. They will rewrite them essentially, but when you actually look at them, they'll have the words of the question all throughout. So if you can get those two elements done as well, then you're going to be right up there. So proofreading in terms of like going back over your work, unless you've finished it's very rare that you're in a situation where you have that luxury. That's a luxury, right? I would definitely, I don't want to say definitely. If you have cleanly finished both sections and you have like 10 minutes to spare, then sure, go back through the essay. But I just don't see that happening if you've really responded to everything properly. So I would say if you do have a few minutes after, quickly reread your thesis. If I was selective about what I would reread your thesis and your introduction. But given you probably only have a few minutes to spare, best case, I don't think you're ever going to end up with 10 minutes to spare if you've done a good job of all of the sections. Then what you would want to do is reread your thesis and make sure it's as sophisticated as possible. But I never reread them. I was just careful as I wrote my answers. And the best thing to do is do a more proactive approach, right? So think before you write. Think about how you're going to answer that question a little bit longer. That to me is the way that I am doing my proofreading. So I kind of proofread proactively. I don't really believe in just going hard so you have time to spare at the end and then reading back, because I feel like if you'd spent a few more seconds thinking before you wrote each sentence, you wouldn't have even needed to do that. So just stay really focused and don't put your pen to paper straight away. Think about what you're actually going to write and take that second. And then when your brain clicks into gear, you'll be flowing with no problem. And just pay attention to what you're writing, because ideally you don't want to make grammatical errors, etc.